Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're in the lab under the AC and we're going at this Remington 511 Scoremaster. Uh, Picked this up recently, and if you're just tuning in, this rifle was painted black by the original owner, and we're going to take this paint off because I suspect that the bluing underneath there is going to be just fine. Now, we had some trouble getting this screw loose. One, it's a real wide slot, and two, I don't think it's been out of there in, gosh, 50 plus years, maybe even 70. I think this rifle, it's dated to 1950. If anybody's not aware, they're to date a Remington. Before there were serial numbers, they put a barrel code right here on the left side of the receiver. Let me zoom in for y'all so that you can see, if it'll let us. You can see what we're talking about. Sometimes it'll zoom in, sometimes it won't. Come on, work with me. There we go. You can see this one is WWW, which that is unique. Nothing incredibly spectacular about it, other than it's just a little unusual because we could go to our Remington dates of manufacture, and it uses black powder X to determine the month, August being W, and then we flip over here to the years and we go look for WW and we get 1950. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years where you would get the month and year in a 3-digit format. Now, you will see 3 digits on, or 3 letters on the barrel sometimes if it was sent back to the factory for to fix an issue. There might be an X on there or something like that. But just a little tidbit of information. In the first video, we went over some of the unique points about the 511. So go check out that video if you're interested in that. I will try to put a link that you can press to get to that video. So what we did is yesterday we put some oil on these screws. Sometimes that's just what you have to do. Now, if they don't move after that, I just used a little bit of regular old gun oil. Croil is recommended. You don't want to leave it on there a long time, but it will penetrate well. But yeah, sometimes you just have to have patience with these. Let the oil do some of the hard work. Another thing that you can do is give it a tap. Just put your screwdriver in there and give it a little tap. And that's with all fasteners. So let's see if we've loosened up enough here to get this guy out. I don't have a slot screwdriver that's really a great fit for this. So we want to do this. There we go. Yep. There's little damage on these screws as possible. Now you can touch these up if you have a screw that's mangled up. There are ways to fix them up a little bit. Now this is a captured screw, and I think that should be all that is holding this together. Bolt is out, so we're chamber is empty. Let me get this barrel out of here. Yep, there we go. Okay, so yeah, we can see that he painted all of this. Let me make sure y'all are seeing, okay, what I'm seeing. Yeah, he did a good job on painting it, honestly. But I'm the curious sort, and I wanna see what the original bluing looks like, whether the paint affected it. I don't think it did, but we're gonna find out. You can see some of the markings there, hopefully. The Scoremaster. This is basically just a multi-shot target master. This was one of the, what they refer to as the 500 series of rifles in the Remington lineup. Post-DuPont merger, they wanted to come up with some cost-saving measures. We're not going to do the metal today. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put some Citristrip on here and wrap it up in some saran wrap and let it work on that paint for a bit, and it should wipe right off, but we shall see. That is for another day, and when we get to that point, we'll take this all down and just give it the once over. It looks pretty clean. I don't think that this rifle has been shot very much. The rifling is just darn near perfect. It looks like he painted it and set it or hung it up somewhere and just never used it. And one of the reasons I say that is when you look at the butt plate on this thing, let me see if I can get you a little bit better light. It is immaculate. There's just very little wear, a little bit right there. So yeah, it may have been stood up in a corner somewhere or something like that. But you can see, it's one of those telltale signs of use. Another, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. When you go to buy a used car, there's a couple things that you can look at that will tell you whether or not that vehicle was a city-driven vehicle or was it a highway car. And the first thing I always go to look at, you look at the mileage, and let's say it's got 100 or 150,000 miles on it. Look at the brake pedal. If it was a city car, on the right side of that brake pedal, it's going to be worn. If it was a highway car, it's not. The other thing you can do is go around to the front and look across the front of the hood. And if you see lots of high impact rock chips, highway car. You don't get those kind of impact marks generally in the city. But we got off topic there. What we are going to do is go ahead and get the rest of the metal off of this stock, and we're going to clean it up. And all I'm going to use right now is some of this Renaissance wax. It's a Micro-Crystalline Wax Polish, so it will clean it and polish it as well. This is what a lot of collectors use, this stuff right here. It's higher than a cat's back when you go to buy it, but it's good stuff. Now, of course, I'll put a link to this down there in the doogly-doo for you. But if you have another product that you think works just as good and is cheaper, I'm open to hear your suggestions. That's one of the great things about this YouTube thing is our fellowship and shared interest in hobby. So I picked out what I think is probably the proper fit for these screws. If you're working on guns, go get you a set of these flat ground bits. And by flat ground, we're talking about, see how it's perpendicular, not like a regular screwdriver where it kind of slopes in. You want to get as much positive contact on all parts of this screw as you can. Let me move y'all in a bit. Okay. I've only had the lab set up for just about a week now, so we're still working out some of the particulars of recording in here. And I should have brought a magnetic bowl in here, but I don't have one handy. We'll just be careful not to lose anything. Yeah, the oil did its work here. Good, good, good. Now this one here is a little bit of a booger to get to sometimes. Let's see here if it'll, yeah, let's take this bit and set it in here. Like so. And we'll just take our 1/4 inch drive. Sorry, I'll try to speak up. I mumble a little bit when I'm working. Let's do it this way. Okay. We hope that this one's not too tight. There we go. Okay, I think I can do it by hand now. Sorry, my hands are shaking ever since I've had heat stroke. My hands shake. All right, so we got that off. Like so. Now, this should screw all the way out. Yep. And that comes off. And all that's left in here is the magazine release. And I'm looking to see if that was painted too. I'm not real sure. So we'll go ahead and take it out. Not that we particularly need it out, but we'll just inspect it. Okay, so there we go. We got all of the metal off of here. Let's get this rest out of the way. All right, next thing we want to do is let's go ahead and take this butt pad off. And the only reason I'm really doing that is because I want to see sometimes people will write things underneath there. And, oh, no, that's a flathead. Let's see what size. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, sometimes you'll find an inscription or something underneath the butt pad. You just never know. This is a tight fit. Oh, and I want to show you. I ran across, of course, I've told y'all past couple videos, I ran into an antique. Okay, so nothing underneath there. Not surprising, but yeah. So we went to this antique flea market type deal, and ran across these old bone or stag grips, and I was talking to my buddy Axel over at the Getting Shop, and he thinks, as I do too, probably Colt Police positive, or maybe a Smith and Wesson 1905. So I'm gonna take these in there tomorrow, and we'll get a good look at these and figure out what they go on. But yeah, nice old grips there. $1. Gotta like that. All right, let's get some of this stuff out of the way and get to rub it on this wood here. See if we can clean it up a little bit. Oh, another thing I've been carrying around is this little Lufkin. I call it the executive, and there's one that you can get the sticker on there that says Lufkin Executive 6 foot. I thought that's the one I was getting, but this is the one they sent, and just kind of a metal flimsy tape, but they're handy in that on the back you can measure diameter, so you wrap it around a tree or something and see what you're dealing with. So we'll see how long this holds up. I've carried the Stanley little guys before. The spring just didn't hold up in them very long. I've been a Lufkin guy for quite a while. They're not built the same as they used to be, because they were sold to Crescent Tool Company, which is owned by a conglomerate now. So I found that really about the best thing to use with this Renaissance wax is just these old blue shop towels. They work as good as anything. Of course, they recommend you use some sort of microfiber towel, but I don't know. Me and some other fellas have found that these old shop towels work just as well. So let me zoom y'all in a little bit here and make an adjustment to the radio. Hang on, let me get supported here. Is that gonna work? No? Okay. All right, I think that'll work. Put this down just a little bit. All right, so yeah, get a kind of good before and after. Let me get some more light in here. Even though that sun is blazing hot, the lab window faces the west. Gets a little warm in here in the afternoon. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of go with the grain here. Give it a good rub down. Like I say, just given the condition of this rifle, I don't think it saw much use. I really don't. And the guy that sold it, he painted all of his rifles. Not sure why, but if y'all know of somebody that does the same thing, let me know. I've never heard of a guy doing that, at least with an old rifle like this. Let's get a bit more of that wax on here. A little bit goes a long way. This is what, I think 4 ounces or something. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description for you. You know, if you guys use those links, it does help us fund projects on here. Amazon pays us a tiny little commission. Usually not very much, but you don't pay more if you use the link. You pay the same price you would. It just helps us out. So we appreciate it when you can do that. But enough talking about that. You can see that spot right there. It's kind of trying to clean up a little bit. We don't want to mess with the wood on this rifle too much. Remington used some kind of mix of I don't know, it's like a tinted spray finish, which again, you know, they was just trying to save money on production costs. They were still making good quality firearms, but the 500 series, all the stocks have the same basic shape, shared trigger guards and things of that nature. Yeah, you guys can see it. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, rub this down as long as you need to, and then we'll come back and we'll buff it out a little bit with a clean towel. And let me know, guys, if you enjoy these little, this isn't really a, I don't know, what would you call it, a restoration? We're not refinishing it, we're just trying to get it back to its original condition. That is all. And some people will say, you know, don't do anything to them. I just consider this maintenance. Just like if you bought this new and you took care of it its whole life. That's what we're trying to do. Just take care of it. Not change it. Yeah, so you get these scratches in this finish like this, and there's just not much you can do about it. If you guys know any tricks, let me know. But that's not a big deal on this rifle, I don't think. You know, you're talking less than $1 bill for this. And once it's cleaned up, who knows? We might have us a pretty decent old rifle on our hands. I know. There's a lot of people that swear by these old Scoremasters. Remington has always been known for their barrels. They started out as a barrel maker. Remington's first rifle, he didn't build the rifle, he built the barrel. There's a misconception about that. I think Roy Marco, the co-author of the Remington 22 rimfire book, I think he talked about that on the channel one time. The story of how Remington got started and all that good stuff. But, well, I think we've kind of hit all the spots on here. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looking a lot better than it did. Some of it we're just going to have to live with. All right, so now we'll take us a nice clean shop towel and we're just going to buff it. Just like that. So let me know what you guys think if you've owned a 511 before or any of the 500 series. I read all the comments and I try to respond to all of them as well. Unless every once in a while we run into somebody that just had a bad day maybe, or just want to be nasty. And if you're going to be that way, this is my channel. And we don't need that kind of nonsense on here. There's too many good people out there to talk to. I've made some really good friends through this YouTube channel. So that's what makes it fun. I don't know if it's showing up on video, guys, but boy, she's looking a lot better. I mean, you can expect only so much with what we're doing here. But yeah, here we go. Guys, if you have any questions or comments, put it down there. If you have a project that you want to share with the channel, there are ways to do that. You can email me at joinus@firearmsandfellowship.com. Join us, JOINUS, at firearms, plural, and fellowship.com. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to see what you guys are working on. I was talking to a subscriber today, and we figured out a way for him to share one of his projects with me. And man, just talking to him today, I learned a trick about getting rust off an old barrel. He put it in his dishwasher. It's kind of steamed it. And I'd never thought about that. That is a good idea. I know our dishwasher has a sanitizing feature, and it gets really hot. So I learn a lot from you guys. I don't claim to know everything about firearms, never will. But it is a journey. So there we go, guys. Look at that. I don't know if the camera really picks up the difference. But boy, she shined up. Shined up good. So, all right. Hey, thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching the videos, take a second to subscribe. That lets YouTube know that you like our videos, and we reach more people that way. So, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. God bless. Keep us in your prayers. Bye.